What's going on, Jeromes? Happy Monday out there, everyone, everywhere. Daily Jeromes live stream coming right at you 11 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Thursday. We're starting a little bit early today because there's going to be a lot to do today. It's going to be a busy week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you very much for coming along and making us part of your day. And yeah, we'll be here. Just you want us on that wall. You need us on that wall to stay up to date with all the Vikings free agency machinations. Anthony Barr restructuring, but really it's a pay cut. Coming back. Woo. Kevin Zeitler gone. What can you do? A lot of things going on. Vikings currently hovering at about 12.2 million in cap space on the top 51. Let's go. Questions. Evan Larson. Another football YouTuber, Bengal, said in one of his recent videos that Larry Ogunjobi, a defensive tackle originally from the Browns, would be an ideal free agent for the Vikings to pick up. Your thoughts? I like Ogunjobi, and I do like the idea of picking up a backup nose tackle to Michael Pierce, except I think Ogun, what's his nickname? It's something Gun. It might just be Ogun. Is probably going to get a starting job somewhere. So I think that's whatever. I would rather bring back Linval Joseph. But if you bring in a stout defensive tackle who doesn't really rush a passer, Ogunjobi's sort of that guy, the pride of Charlotte, I want to say. Yeah, so for me, sort of whatever. Joey Pesic. I heard the Bears are going to give an offer for Russ that the Seahawks can't refuse. Thoughts? Well, why not? Ryan Pace is probably going to be out of a job in a year. He's on the thinnest of ice. So what's the skin off his nose if he offers 4 first-round picks? Because he might not be around to make those picks anyway. But, yeah, if they make – Russ has got to be careful, too. Because the team he goes to, if they have to give up a ton to acquire his rights, that takes away from the ability of his new team to build around him. And then he'll have the same problems in Seattle. But he needs to be in Chicago to build his brand. Like the offseason doesn't exist. And there aren't planes or like the internet. It's just so stupid. Jake Grasky. To Jake Grasky. Since it looks like we're sticking with Kirk for the next 2 years, I'd love to see us draft Kellen Mond, develop him. He's got all the physical tools. I don't know about Mond. I watched back some of his 2019 tape. I watched most of his games in 2020. They're just... I understand that Chris Sims is bullish on him. Therefore, lots of people are high on him now. I just don't know. He says that Mond is consistent. I don't see consistency at all. Like sometimes Kellen Mond looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC, and other times he's Felipe Franks. So I don't know. Like you do worry about the frame as well, but I would F with him in the 4th round. I wouldn't touch him day 2. But I think a team may reach. So it may be a moot point as it is. Miles, can you do a Vikings tier list like you did off season? I really enjoyed it. Yes. Harold Claudius. How would you react if the Vikings run it back with Dakota Dozier? I would burn down everything. I was just waiting for them to franchise tag him. Griffin Creer, congrats on 36 subs. Thank you. If Zaven Collins is going to be the man in the NFL, 6'4", 260 and can run, we said that. Zaven Collins is Eric Kendricks trapped in Anthony Barr's body. Like he's going to be a really good player. Rohit Anapati. How do you feel about the contract with voidable years that Brady signed? He's still making money, yet his cap hit is only $9.5 million. Do you see a lot of teams using this method to create more cap space? Yeah, especially with the cap down potentially only for 2021. You will see teams kicking the can down the road. I think it's a smart move. I think you could see that with Kirk Cousins potentially. But I feel like some teams use it almost cheating, where it's legal, obviously, and hashtag cap is a myth. But I mean, how long is Tom Brady going to play? Well, how often do we say that? But he's probably going to play till he's 50. But the way that the Saints just blatantly did it with Drew Brees, where Brees knew he was going to retire, but he just waited till the 15-year anniversary of him signing with the Saints. So it's complete bullcrap, where you have a player that you know is going to retire, but this extension magically happens so that you're not in cap hell. I don't like it. I don't like it under those parameters. Maybe it's just because I hate the effing Saints. Oh, by the way. We have a reaction video. A Vikings fan reacts to Drew Brees retiring coming out tomorrow morning. Woo! It is spicy. It is muy caliente. F that guy. F that guy. F his legacy. F all the national media jabroni haircuts that are just slobbering over Drew Brees. Is he a top 5 quarterback of all time? No. I don't care that he's an all-time leading passer. Passing yards is a hollow, inaccurate stat. He has a losing record ever since his Asterisk super. We'll get into all of it. I'm still fired up, man. Next up, Jem Roberts. Given that there is now some reasonable cap space, do they go all in on one star player, Thuney, one of the edges, or spread the funds more evenly, upgrade a really horrible 3 or 4 player? Given the number of draft picks, I say damn the torpedoes. Go all in on Thuney. Go all in on Shaq Barrett. Go all in. Yeah, just throw all that cap space at one guy. Just do it. Get a legit superstar player as opposed to getting, I don't know, 4 mid-tier guys. Or I guess if you're going to break it down, you spend $5 million on Trey Turner or Gabe Jackson, and then $5 million on Malcolm Butler, and then, I don't know, $5 million on, John Johnson's going to be way too much. A safety, maybe, sure. MKS Conaway. I'm excited to see what you come up with for the Arizona Hot Dish next year. Probably something with Hatch, the chilies. Got any ideas what you might make? Ever made tacos or chimichangas? Ever made tacos? Yes. Also, I like how chimichangas are just deep fried burritos because the guy just dropped a burrito in the deep fryer one day. It's kind of funny to me. Ryan Topper. What position do you think Rick is really looking to get into for agency on the draft? Well, Birdie has it that the Vikings will be in on defensive line as well as cornerbacks, and offensive line is a given. The Vikings are reportedly in on Marcus Goldenstein put. The Vikings are reportedly in on Joe Thuney, but so are a bunch of other teams. We'll see what happens there. Marcus Golden back to the Cardinals. That's funny. Next, in honor of Drew Brees retiring, I'm so sick of the media. I am. Yeah. Next up, Derek Ward. Would you trade the first and a third and a fourth for Ravens, Orlando Brown, and a Ravens second round pick? That's too much math. That'd be close. It's the third and the fourth essentially cancel out the second. So you're basically giving up 14 for Orlando Brown. I would do it. Yes. Derek Baker, I'm surprised that Stefan Samia, Dozier, and Beebe haven't been cut yet. Are the Vikings allowed to spend over the cap now to get their free agents and the cut players get below the cap later on? There's a hard date they have to be under. I forget what it is, but essentially they can do that. But yeah, it is a deadline-driven league, and they don't want to cut players that are like, maybe we can't do better in free agency in the draft. I sort of get that. Samia is on his rookie deal. Dozier's an unrestricted free agent, so he's technically not on the Vikings books. Beebe is an RFA. They might not tender him, reportedly. And Shamar Stephen, 3.7, they can just free up by just cutting him. So I don't understand why he's still here. DP, with so many college players opting out and still being projected to go in the first round, do you think opting out will become more popular among college players even after COVID ends? I think it should have been popular for a while. You look at guys that say are true not true freshmen, but say true sophomores and can't declare because you have to be, your high school class has to be 3 years removed. But you could see guys that have a phenomenal sophomore year just opt out of their junior year and then just get ready for the draft, especially if it doesn't ding many of these guys in the draft process. You look at Micah Parsons, Rashawn Slater, Trey Lance, even though he didn't opt out, the MVC opted out for him. But yeah, you could see that. And examples have been like Jadeveon Clowney after his sophomore year. He could have been playing in the NFL the next day, but he had to come back for his junior year. Didn't harm his draft stock at all. But also, do you want to risk injury? Do you want to risk? Who else? See, Fournette would have been up there. Adrian Peterson after his sophomore year certainly could have declared or opted out. And I was gonna say Kedon Slovis after his true freshman year, but nah. I mean, waiting 2 years, nah, that's a little bit too much. John Anderson TV, hey, happy Monday. Hope you're doing great. Back at you. I was looking at 2022 quarterback draft class for fun. What is your opinion on Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma? I like Rattler. I am worried about his frame, but Oklahoma has become QBU. I don't know if he'll be quarterback one in this upcoming class, but there's a lot of really intriguing names. You look at Sam Howell, you look at the UCF kid, you look at Desmond Ridder, no matter what, you look at Kedon Slovis. There's going to be, even though right now consensus is, it's a down quarterback year. I mean, you could say that every single year, but they have a full season of college football coming up. I mean, you could have said that about the 2020 class where, Herbert was coming back, sure. Tua, yes. But who had Joe Burrow on the radar? Joe Burrow, the transfer from Ohio State, had a whatever 2018 season at LSU, but then blew up. Who knew? Carver Hammond. What's your best case scenario for the Vikings of 14? Receiver falling, line work. I would actually say one of the quarterbacks falling and being able to trade down for a plethora of picks. Like say Mac Jones still on board at 14 and the Patriots at 15 probably going to take him. And then you have like the Steelers. Well, Steelers need to start estate planning, man, because I'm not sold on Big Ben. But you look at Washington, you look at the Bears potentially, depending what happens with their quarterback situation. You look at the Steelers, could be trading up for a quarterback. You look at the Saints as well. So that would be great. That would be a great get for the Vikings. Husker, do you think the Vikings make a move to pick up a second-round pick by trading a player or packaging picks? Probably not trading player. Packaging picks makes more sense, especially since they have 2 3s, 4 4s, 2 5s, and 2 6s. I think that's more likely as opposed to them magically trading down to stay in the back end of the first and get a second. Cody Sandstrom, would you be okay with the Vikings signing Damiere Byrd as that third receiver? He played very well for the Pats last year, just not a number one guy. Damiere Byrd was the guy on the Cardinals that roasted Xavier Rhodes in 2019, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that's it because that name sticks out. It's possible. There's just a ton of those type of guys that were wide receiver 4 or 5s. Khalif Raymond from the Titans is a guy that I really enjoy that to keep an eye out for. But they're going to be Tajay Sharp. They don't have to end up like Tajay Sharp. Patrick Harms. Why do I feel the Vikings will bring back Dozier and Mannion? Well, reportedly, they're working on bringing back Mannion, which is unfortunate, but it'd be what it'd be. Dozier is whatever at this stage. I wouldn't put it past him. Damn it. All right, so Shaq Barrett's off the market. And, they're running it back with the Bucks. That's unfortunate. Oh, well. So that's 2 edge rushers off the board, even though I actually don't see the Vikings spending up on edge rusher in free agency. I don't. No. Next up, Seth B. Herman. In my opinion, I honestly think they may move O'Neal left tackle, let Udo on the field. He's one of the best 5 linemen on the team, but he plays right tackle only. Well, he played right tackle only in college. He played some guard as well as left tackle in training camp last year. Blah, blah, blah. Well, so we sort of got thrown under the bus because, like, oh, you're only concerned about money about moving O'Neal. No, it's like money is one of 5 different factors. I think Ezra Cleveland has a chance to be a blue chip left tackle, and Brian O'Neal has already established himself as one of the best right tackles in the game. Plus, this is not Lawrence Taylor 1987 anymore. Like the blind side is not as valuable as it used to be, as a lot of teams are deploying one of their premier edge rushers on the left side of the defense, aka the right side of the offense. You look at Daniil, left defensive end, Cam Jordan, left defensive end. Khalil Mack spends about 55% of his time over on the left side. Von Miller typically rushes from the left side of the defense. So it's not the be-all, end-all anymore. And you're starting to see, like the Eagles, that probably won't move Lane Johnson from right tackle, left tackle. But left tackle is more important. Not necessarily. Especially since Brian O'Neal has already ingrained himself as one of the better young right tackles in the game. Why are you flipping up his footwork and flipping over to the left side? Yes, money does factor in. But if they're really sold on Oli Udoh, have him play guard. Have him play right guard, or give him a shot at left tackle. Let him and Ezra duke it out. Let him, Ezra, and Christian Darrisaw duke it out. Whatever. MK Soundaway. Is it pretty much confirmed that Eric Wilson's out the door? By restructuring Barr, yes. Yeah, I think Eric Wilson's gone. Luke Zacher. Most badass team names in all of college and professional sports. I got to go with the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I always like the Southern Illinois Salukis, which I think is a dog, and the Wichita State Shockers, of course, Ted Lasso, what's up, and what else out there? There's some really good ones, like the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, which I found out is like a pirate or something. No, it's a bird. It's a bird, yeah, because like all the... No, wait a minute. Is it a bird? It doesn't matter. I can't think off the top of my head. Sorry, there's a lot going on today. DP, ask that question again in June when there's more free time. The Packers just signed Aaron Jones a 4-year deal, $48 million, $13 million sign bonus. Who's going to be their cap casualty? Well, they already got rid of pretty Ricky Wagner. They're probably not going to resign Corey Linsley. They're probably not going to resign who's their 32-year-old guard? Name escapes me. They're probably going to have to get Za'Darius to restructure. and Preston Smith, maybe he's cut, or perhaps he's back on a pay cut. But yeah, they're going to have to tighten their belt a little bit. Next up, legal tampering is open. Wow. Complete chaos. Rowan on Potty. Do you think the backloaded contracts will be common this year due to lowered salary cap? Yes. Complete chaos. Would Joke be a good scheme fit for the Vikings? If you bring in Joke, you'd have to change up your scheme. And we mean that in the best possible way, because he's an undersized will linebacker. He's an oversized safety. He's got great cover skills. He can hit. And you just have to adjust your scheme. So maybe he's that third safety, and maybe big nickel becomes your new base defense, or you can use him a lot of ways. Like, if the Vikings end up with Joke, I'm certainly okay with that. I would be okay with that. Let us know where we were watching from. We'll give a couple shout outs. Ben Weatherly. If Barr restructures and is a free agent in 2022, which he did, do you see the Vikings re-signing Wilson, drafting a linebacker 14? Not re-signing Wilson. I think it does open things up. If Parsons there at 14, take him. If they trade down, or if they maneuver in the second round and Joke or Collins or Bolton or Cox or Jamin Davis is there, take him. Yes. Thorvald Von Johnson, all jokes aside, who is it that keeps selling the myth that they can roll with an interior offensive line, or what they're selling? I fix the guy with hat, cap states, let Kurt run. No one. It's a lie. It's a lie. Shout outs. Purple Rain Skull from Wausau, Wisconsin. John Anderson TV, Sweden. Ryan Nuto, Skull from Gus Davis. Adolphus, what's going on? Patrick Harms, Cedar Rapids, all up in the house. You guys are the best. Thanks for coming along. Next up, Complete Chaos with Joke. We read that one. Quasar Andromeda. Any chance we get a new GM before Rick blows his wide on plethora of 6th, 7th round picks? No. Spielman is going to be here. Sure. Jim Miller, Skull from Dysart, Iowa. That name that place sounds familiar. Anyway. Pulford Skull, Nashville, Tennessee. What up? McNiller and Sons, Table, Arizona. Mike Benham, Grand Rapids. Jake Richards, Sun Prairie. Logan Ripley, shout out to his pops. TJ, lifelong Vikings fans from Vermont. Love your syrup. Miles Skull from Denver. Hunter Williams, Lakeville. What's going on? MJ Meyer 10, Skull from Burnsville, South Metro representing. What's up? You guys are the best. Thanks for coming along. Let's see. Yeah, Aquara resigned 3 years, $39 million, $13 million per. It's a pretty good deal. For him. All right, next up. So Courtney Corona, Mike Boone's likely not to be tendered. Vikings not going to tender him. Vikings aren't going to tender BB. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, not unexpected, since RFA tenders probably were between 2 and 3 million, so that's whatever. Evan Cascanaway, I feel about Aaron Jones getting top running back money. I think he was a bad move for the Packers. I like Aaron Jones. I don't think he's worth that money, but I'm glad that the Packers paid it. Hopefully now they overpay Aaron Rodgers. Tyson Schmitz, what would you think about trading Thielen for Orlando Brown, then moving up a few spots to pick one of the big 3 wide receivers or Pitts? Yes. Hurts to say, but yes. Noah Sattler? There we go. Does Spielman visit to the NDSU Pro Day indicate a legitimate link to Trey Lance, or is it just a GM with a first-round pick doing his due diligence? I think part of it was close. I mean, Fargo from Minnesota on a private jet is like, what, a 20-minute flight? No, it's even less than that. 15, maybe. So part of it is that. Part of it is Dylan Radens, the tackle from NDSU, the Pride of Becker, Minnesota. And also I think part of it might be asking questions of the coaches and admin about Jabril Cox, the linebacker who was at NDSU, transferred to LSU as a grad transfer. But yes, part of it could be Trey Lance as well. Ooh. Stanley Morrows. Zeidler out 8. Looking more like Darrison Dickerson in the draft and pushing Ezra left guard. I'm okay with that. Pulford Skull. Zeke to be cut. Think it'll happen. Ezekiel Elliott? Probably not. Aaron Jones got paid. Smart choices. Dylan's not close to him. Cool. Chris Danny Hansen. With all the O-line cap casualties, do you think there will be a run on offensive linemen in the draft? Possibly. But I think it's more that with a large number of interior offensive line and tackles available in free agency, that a lot of them are going to be signed on very cheap deals. So I think it'll actually be business as usual. Team negotiation. Yeah, so we're keeping up with the RFAs. It's hot stuff. Ryan O'Sullivan, at what point do you see the Vikings will try and extend Harrison Smith? Hopefully right now. do it. David Ruiz, would you be fine with the Vikings picking up Sidney Jones if he doesn't resign with the Jaguars? Depends how much. Michael Merchant Robles, do you think retiring was the right thing for Drew Brees? He should retire 3 years ago because old man was ass. But for that, we thank you. Christopher Frost, Andy, what do you hope we do with our third picks for our positions, pending what happens at free agency and in the first round? It's really an unanswerable question. But if we had to pick, given the composition of the respective draft classes, toss up between guard, specifically guard, not center, not tackle, guard, 3 tech, and safety. Sure. Next up. Oh, Shaq Bear, 4-year deal, $72 million. It's a pretty damn good deal. That's what, 18 per? We're really good at math. Yeah, 18 per. Next up. Jack Bronke, I think Taylor Gabriel is heavily underrated wide receiver 3 option for the Vikings. Thoughts? Maybe 4 years ago, but no. Zeke Lockhart, number 1. My cat's dying. He has stopped eating for the most part. It's pretty dormant. Sucks to lose a pet. Also lost my job due to the market. That sucks, man. Do you have any life advice? Thank you for the Uber Vikings fan perspective. Well, see this as an opportunity because now you have the opportunity to audit your life and go through, remove things that don't bring value or don't bring you happiness. And you'll be really surprised how much you don't need things or how much you don't need this and that. So simplify your life, stack up as much money as you can, and get yourself a cushion if you don't have one. If you do have a cushion, make it bigger, and it gives yourself options. So if you want to get continuing education, if you want to pick up a certificate, if you want to go back to school, if you want to try a new industry or field, if you want to, say you had a good side hustle, find a way to turn that into your full-time career. Initially it sucks, and especially multiple things at once, like a beloved pet, as well as having to change jobs. But a year from now, 6 months from now, if you look back and see, hey, that was the best thing that ever happened, minus the pet thing, certainly could do it. But yeah, can't change what happened. Things don't happen to you. Things just happen. So adjust and pivot. Wishing you luck, man. Eric Anderson. Vikings likely to bring back Sean Mannion this offseason. It sucks. Does that? Yeah. So does this make you feel like the Vikings? Yes. But he threw for 1 billion yards in the Pac-12. Congratulations. See, just trying to keep up. Man. A lot of things going on. I like how Doogie just pivots. Doogie's like the big basketball guy then for agency. He's got all the dirt. Love Doogie. Next up, Griffin Creer. Thoughts on Liam Eichenberg? I like him. I don't like him at left tackle. I think that he is a poor man's Mike McGlinchey. You like the size. You like the anchor. Feet probably not as good as McGlinchey. I mean, there's a reason why McGlinchey was number 9 overall pick, I believe. But he's a solid pick. I would put him behind, way behind Jenkins, behind Mayfield. I would actually put him behind Brady Christensen as well. But, I mean, all the Notre Dame linemen probably going to be solid picks. I wouldn't touch Eichenberg before the second round. Before the third round. I wouldn't touch him in the second. But, yeah. Smash B. Skull or not, Danielle Hunter to the Ravens for Orlando Brown at pick 27. No. 27 in a second, then maybe we'll talk. Samuel Salinger, Skull. Which Vikings do you think will make the Pro Bowl next year? Kirk, Dalvin, JJ, Irv, Hendricks, Harrison. Yes, include a rookie. Where's Danielle Hunter? Joshua Laurie. Do you really think we'll be able to get 2 guards in free agency? Yes. If so, would really give us flexibility in the draft? Yes. What guards do you want now that Zeitler and Feliciano are spoken for? And Norwell restructured as well. Hell, go for Thuney. Sign Thuney and then sign Kyle Long for the league minimum. Let's go. Or sign Thuney and Nick Easton. Or if you want to go cheaper, get Posich and Blythe. Let's go. Jesse Krikers. Good Monday. Who do you think the Vikings' next GM and coach will be if the Vikings don't make the playoffs again? Daniel Jeremiah, Eric Bieniemy. Let's go. Stanley Morrow's free agency is almost as fun for me as Christmas. Agreed. DG, Coming to America is an established classic, but what about Coming to America 2? The sequel, just really are we down with whatever is in store for us in the aspect of we talked about this last week. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was faithful to the original. I thought there was enough Easter eggs and references to the first movie, but it wasn't overbearing. I thought overall it was a really tightly well done sequel. I think they succeeded. DP, Slater, Parsons, and Pay are all on board at 14. Who you taking? Wilson walks. Barback and Peka. No notable defensive line players signed in free agency. Slater, Parsons, Pay. I am taking Slater. Depends what the Vikings do in free agency on the offensive line. Miles, what are your thoughts about Kellerman? I already talked about Kellerman. I'm whatever on him. Rodrigo Campos. Which kicker is the best prospect in the draft? I like McPherson from Florida, but I don't really do a lot of film work on kickers. But it's like, oh, this guy makes a good amount. God. James Quayle. What are the chances we either get Trey Lance or Devonta? 50-50 with crystal ball. Plus, why TF would Russell Wilson want to go to the Bears? Exactly. But it's for his brand. Who cares? Jake Lagovin. I think it's safe to say the Vikings will have a new offensive line by the end of the week, maybe even Wednesday night. 2 gaping holes on the O-line after released. Drafting O-line is sexy. We all know that Zimmer wants a new defensive toy. Oh, it is kind of sexy. We flipped out when the Vikings took Bradbury at 18. Sexy time. Sort of worked out. Half the time. Oakview. Realistic opinion on who we might get in free agency. Ethan Posich, as well as Austin Blythe. Fits the cut of their jib. Ethan Griffin Creer. Parsons or Darisaw at 14. Darisaw, but it's close. Lucas Johns. We all know Kirk is religious, and if he believes in the 10 Commandments, then he should take a pay cut not to be greedy, right? I don't think there's a pay cut about being greedy. Or a commandment about being greedy. There's one, don't covet your neighbor's like ass. So, no, there's nothing in there that says you have to give back what you've rightfully earned. Although he should, but no. Bob to Bob. Was Jeff Locke good? No. Michael Merchant Robbles. Do you really think Afadi will leave? Well, the problem is that if they tender him, that's $2 million and change. Vikings definitely won't tender BB. No. So that's $2 million and change. And the Vikings, if they're going to sign free agents, don't really want to shell that out. Plus, bringing Weatherly back sort of makes Afadi's role redundant, so he might actually leave. Matt Hammernick. Heard rumors the Vikings are cleaning up cap space for offensive line help. Sounds like more talk about, the Vikings are in other positions. This is a BS time of year. Oh, the Vikings can be interested in this, that, and the other thing. Well, yeah, they should be interested in all the things, but if they ignore offensive line, that's just stupid. Josh Imset. Seems like Rick has given Vikings... Seems like Rick has given Zimmer control over trades and free agent signings while Rick remains in charge of drafting. Kind of scapegoaty, but Rick's... not really, because then Zimmer wouldn't have signed Kirk Cousins. Probably wouldn't have signed Josh Klein. Probably wouldn't have traded Yannick away. So, no. Sam Russell just goal. After Zeitler is gone, who is the number one offensive liner behind Joe Thuney? It's a bit of a toss-up. Throw Gabe Jackson, Trey Turner... Posich, Blythe out there. I do like Jermaine Elmenor, but Pulford Skull. Saints are going to find out 2020 that cut several Hendrickson, Jenkins, Alexander, Sanders. I actually think they're fine cutting all those guys except for Hendrickson, because Jenkins, whatever, Sanders, whatever. Quan Alexander definitely wasn't worth that money, so yeah. MJ the GOAT. Trade Thielen for Robinson and a second, yes or no? Robinson who? Like Allen Robinson? Yeah. Because then you have to pay him. So, yeah. That's it. Sorry for zooming through, but there's a lot to do today. Keep it tuned. We'll be here all week. Daily Jerome's live stream, 11 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Thursday. Thanks for coming along, and subscribe and watch all the videos.